Good day, everyone.
Especially to you, Sir Gabriel T. Sanqueta. So today we're going to perform our performance task in Forensic 5. It's all about lie detection method. So let's start. So how the BEAT method works step by step. So step 1, establish baseline behavior. Then the investigator first asks simple non-threatening questions such as name, address, occupation, daily routine. So the purpose of it is to observe the suspect normal behavior, speech, tone, eye movement, and body language when telling the truth. So what investigators observe? So normal speaking speed, eye contact, hand movements, breathing pattern, and also facial expression. So this becomes the suspect baseline behavior. Step 2 is controlled questioning. The investigator slowly introduces questions related to the case. So, for example, is where were you last night? Then, who were you with last night? Did you enter the victim's house? The investigator carefully compares the suspect reaction with their baseline behavior. So, signs being observed: sudden hesitation, voice cracking, repeated swallowing, avoid details, over explaining answers, sudden changes in posture. So the step 3 is emotional pressure check. The investigator asks emotionally related questions, observes stress reaction. Example is, how did you feel after hearing what happened? Why do you think the victim mentioned your name? What is measured emotional is inconsistency, delayed reactions, nervous laughter, defensive behavior, facial tension. The method assumes that deceptive individuals experience higher mental stress when maintaining false information. So the step 4 is answer consistency tracking. The investigator asks similar questions multiple times in different ways throughout the interview. Example: what did you what time did you leave? Then later, what were you doing before going home? So the purpose of it is to determine if the suspect's story changes over time. Indicators of deception: contradicting details, missing information, changing timelines, different descriptions, and truthfulness. Individuals usually maintain consistent details, while deceptive individuals may struggle to repeat fabricated stories accurately. So, the last one is step 5, evidence cross-checking. The investigator compares the suspect's statement with CCTV footage, witness statements, phone records, physical evidence. So, the BEAT method emphasized that behavior alone is not proof of lying. Evidence remains the most important basis in criminal investigations.
So, why the method can detect deception? The method is based on the physiology and human behavior. Physiological basis: when people lie, the brain works harder because the person must create false information, remember fabricated details, avoid contradiction, control emotional reactions. This mental effort may produce behavioral and emotional change that investigators can observe. The method also uses the principle that people can control words easier than body reactions. So, because of this, combining speech analysis and behavioral observation improves reliability. So, basis or inspiration of the method. The BEAT method was inspired by behavioral observation. Investigator often notice nervous habits or emotional reaction during questioning. Physiology of cognitive load. Lying requires more mental effort than telling the truth. Interview techniques: professional investigators already compare statements and observe consistencies. Human emotional response: stress and fear may affect speech and body language during deception. Strength of the BEAT method. Number one, less invasive. The method does not require physical attachment of machines like polygraph tests. Cost-effective police officers only need proper training and observation skills. Practical and real investigations can be used during ordinary police interviews and interrogations. Encourage evidence verification. The method supports evidence-based investigation rather than relying only on behavior.
Limitations of the BAIT method. Number one, requires investigator training. Incorrect interpretation of behavior may lead to mistakes. Number two, not 100% accurate. Some innocent individuals may appear nervous due to fear or anxiety. Number three, cultural differences. Body language and emotional expression varies between people and cultures. Number four, cannot replace physical evidence. The method only assists investigators and should never be the sole basis for arrest or conviction. Comparison with existing method accuracy, reliability, practical use, polygraph test, moderate, can be affected by anxiety, requires equipment, behavioral observation, moderated depends on investigator skills. Easy to use, interview techniques high when combined with evidence, effective, commonly used BAIT method. More balance uses multiple indicators, practical and less invasive conclusion. Conclusion. The BAIT method is a realistic and ethical deception detection approach that combines behavioral observation, emotional analysis, and answer consistency tracking. It does not claim to be perfect lie detector, but it helps investigator identify suspicious behavior that requires further investigation. Most importantly, the method reinforces the principle that evidence is still the strongest basis in solving crimes. The BIT method simply assists investigators in conducting more effective and professional interviews.